Welcome back, guys. Nice to have you here. And today we are going to take a look at the top decks from the WCS 224 qualifiers here. So we had this recent World Championship qualification, a thing that was basically like a Duelist Cup, where you had the first stage where you can earn some points, and then the second stage where you would fight for the top space or the top placement basically in your region. And I think the first ones from every region got an invitation to the World Championship. So very, very interesting. Obviously, we are seeing basically the best decks of the best in the current meta, basically piloted by very, very good players. And we can see right here, Area A, Japan. We obviously don't have decks from everyone here, so we don't see any rank. We have Stellar Global Rank number 2 with Fire King Snake Eyes. Yeah, this is what I predicted when the new cards came out, that this would be the strongest deck. It turns out it is, and this list is kind of similar to the list I am running. The Driver and the Gamma are actually interesting, because this is not what I am running. We are seeing 2 Volcanics here, so the Volcanics package being played with 2. I think that's quite nice. I think it's better to play this than playing more Poplar, because it's just a better normal summon ending on a better line. Interesting that we're only playing 2 Diabellstar here. I would definitely play 3 for more consistency. We are playing 3 High Avatar Kirin. That's nice, obviously, because this gives you the ability to dodge, for example, an Imperm or an Effect Veiler on your Ash or on your Ponix or on your Volcanics, and that's quite nice. Talents, always a nice card, obviously, otherwise I would not have named my channel after this. We are playing the XYZ Bosco Runics, and we are playing double Promethean Princesses. This makes a lot of sense in my opinion. I guess this guy was expecting a lot of Kashtira Unicorns being in pure Snake Eye lists, and we will see in a moment whether this is true or not. We are playing an Almirage, very interesting. Obviously, you don't have a lot of space in the extra deck for Fire King and Fire King Snake Eyes and Snake Eyes Pure. A card that I really love is the Nightmare Phoenix. This might not seem like much, because you could say, okay, there's an SP Little Knight, why would I even play a Nightmare Phoenix? But the Nightmare Phoenix can come up really well in situations where you want to kill your opponent with your kill combo that is very strong and consistent, but you can't use your SP Little Knight there to remove an important piece. So maybe there's a face down that you want to clear up before you go for your kill combo, but you can't use the Little Knight because otherwise you won't be able to attack directly. So this is where the Nightmare Phoenix comes in, and is obviously the best choice, because you don't want to go for a Nightmare Unicorn, because this requires one more link up. And then you also have the opportunity, and this is why I also think this is a very nice card, to kill your opponent on an empty board, because remember, with your full kill combo you need your opponent to have 1 monster on the field, but with a Nightmare Phoenix present you can also kill your opponent on an empty board. We have once again, there is a lot missing here. We have Global Rank 1. Is this like, this should be like, is this also Japan, or is this like Latin America, North America, Asia, Europe, top 100 deck lists? Okay. So this seems to be, so we had these top people from all of the areas. I think this is what this is, and now we are having like the top 100 deck lists, I guess. So okay, this is what this is, because Stella is here rank 2. So we have the rank 1 list actually, which is Rescue Ace. Very interesting. 45 cards here. I was always wondering how you would build a Rescue Ace variant. We are playing a Poplar. We are playing the Diabellstar to get access to the Poplar, to get access to the Hydrant. Once again, Gamma, very popular here. We have 3 Ash Blossoms split up. I guess this one is an alternative art one. And yeah, nothing too fancy, I would say. Here we are once again playing 2 triple tactic talents. Here we are playing the pot. I guess the pot is a very, very nice option if you can do it with your extra deck. Here we can see the double SP Little Knight that you definitely want to play if you want to play a Rescue Ace at full power, because you want to use 1 to protect your Turbulence on your first turn, and then you want another one to be used by your IP Masquerina on your opponent's second turn here. So Rescue Ace, the top 1 deck, very interesting, but not really surprising, as I predicted Rescue as being the second best deck behind Fire King Snake Eye. We have seen this Fire King Snake Eye list, and here we can see we don't have rank 3, but we have rank 4 with 53, a very interesting number here. Card list branded Despia basically, so not copying the Arbo mode 60 card list here. We are playing triple Keeper of Dragon Magic, which can get you into your branded fusion for getting rid of a card. We have obviously the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. If you can get into the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, then it's very strong. It's basically game over, so it's a no-brainer taking this to the event. We have the Grass, obviously, though if you go lower on cards, then Grass is obviously worse. If you get higher on these cards, then the Grass becomes better and better. But this person deciding to just play 53 and then put a grass in here, this obviously also works. Otherwise, nothing too fancy with this branded display list. You could go ahead and just copy this, and I guess you don't have to understand anything else in order to play this. This is more or less a standard branded display list. Interesting that we're only running one guiding quem. You can definitely run two. And we have the Fairy Tale Snow, obviously, when we are playing the grass. This makes sense because this can get milled to the graveyard, and then you can summon the girl. 5-6 are not available. We have 7 with another Fire King Snake Eyes list, very similar to the list we have seen before. Or is it like the same list? We've only one Bellstar. Interesting here. And instead of the Gamma package, we are playing Effect Veilers. But other than that, I think this is quite similar. I guess the guy up here did not have a 1-for-1, or didn't I see it? Oh, he does not have a 1-for-1. Instead, he's playing another Bellstar. But otherwise, these lists are kind of similar. These being replaced by Effect Veilers. Other than that, yeah, it's actually quite similar. There's a pot in here. Interesting. He also playing the Pot of Prosperity, which I always like the pot because this can find you anything. If you have an entire board, then you can find Maxi, for example, or you can find an Imperm. This is basically a no-brainer in every deck if you think about it. But your extra deck is very tight with Fire King. So the Fire King definitely one of the decks where you don't really want to play a pot, but you can definitely play a pot. Otherwise, nothing too special, nothing too fancy. We have global rank 9, once again with a Rescue Ace list here. Kind of similar to the list before. Once again, the Gamma package, very, yeah, the people liked to play it here. We have a tier limits list, obviously no top Duelist Cup or World Championship qualifier event without having a tier limits list. I really like card destruction here, very strong card in the deck. And yeah, tier limits still works. We're not playing the Horus Engine, as I also think, to be honest, that the Horus Engine is a bit of a copy strategy here in tier elements. I think tier elements can work basically on the same power level without the Horus cards, but it's obviously cool to play the Horus cards. They are very, very nice, and it's awesome if you can get into a zombie vampire and mill there. Other than that, this is basically the tier elements list that we were seeing before we had the Horus stuff out and people were playing tier element Horus. This was being played with the Performer Trick Clown, and then also cards like the Destrudo, obviously, and the Shadol package to make a Winder here, which can also lock your opponent out of the game. We have another Fire King Snake Eye list here with triple Volcanics, and we have once again the Gamma package. Otherwise, nothing too special, nothing too fancy. We have global rank 13. I think we are seeing these cross lists if the person played the one deck and then switched to the other one. Two very interesting decks. We have a super heavy samurai list here. Can you even call it super heavy samurai? Synchro. We have two like super synchro heavy lists. There is even a Featherstorm in here. Super crazy. I'm not the biggest, I don't have the biggest internal knowledge base when it comes to this synchro decks, so I can't really tell you what this really wants to end up on, but yeah, looks powerful. This looks like a deck, if you don't stop it with any hand trap, it will end up on like 10 negates and you basically auto lose the game. And maybe it also has access to the Harpy's Featherstorm, which basically is a turn skip or basically a win the game button, you could say. But yeah, these lists are kind of the same, but then I guess we started with this list and then switched it up to this one because yeah, some elements might have been better in this list than in this one. I guess this is where the switch came through. Then we have Rain, global rank 17 with a Pearly list. Interesting here. The variety here being, so it's very variety. What's the noun for this? It's very, yeah, it's diverse. Yeah, that's what I was getting. It's very diverse here. You can see a lot of different decks here. Nothing special here in this Pearly list. We are playing a Shadol Beast as a discard engine. Otherwise, nothing too fancy here. We have once again Fire King Snake Eyes, another pretty common list going 40 cards. I definitely like this. We are not playing the Volcanics as you don't need to play the Volcanics. We have a Rescue Ace switching back to Fire King Snake Eyes later on here. We have, wow, this is also, what is this? Thunder Dragon Colossus type of deck with tier elements cards and also Snake Eye engine. Crazy. I always think these amalgamations of deck lists are very interesting when they reach such high, oh my god, Necrophase, when they reach such high, yeah, levels of success in such an event. Is very interesting. Salesman, crazy cards, really crazy cards in here, really crazy deck lists. Once again, Fire King Snake Eye going to another Fire King Snake Eye variant. The difference here being, oh, you're playing two Ponixes. Interesting. Getting rid of the Droll and Lockbird. Is there any other big change here? I guess not. So pretty standard lists here. We have another Rescue Ace 50 cards list. Obviously, play the Rescue Ace above 40. Very interesting here. Having a retaliating C can be very, very effective, obviously. But it's not as strong as the normal Maxi. We have an Endymion deck here. Cool. Okay, very cool. Even without the new cards. So we obviously play, Exceed the Pendulum. This is a no-brainer. But we're playing Moving Princess here. But we don't play the new Pendulum cards in here. Endymion, very fun deck. I have played this once before myself. We have a Sky Striker going back to a Pearly list here. We have Infernoble Knights, wow, with an adventure package, interesting. Also 60 cards, getting global rank 58 here. This is very interesting because you also want to play decks in these events that can finish the game fast. And oh yeah, there's also this is not Infernoble Knights, this is the Mekanko kill your opponent on his turn with with the Invoker stuff thingy here. This was the reason why, which card was banned? Some card of the Mekanko variety. Oh no, it was Isolde. Isolde was banned, so that this wasn't no longer possible. There was something that could be done with this MX Saber Invoker, skipping a turn or something. Not quite sure how this worked. If you know in the comments, let me know. By the way, guys, if you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting thumbs up and the notification bell, as this helps me out a lot. We have Pearly once again here. Then we have Mavmec, yeah, still strong. I think I ranked this in my top 5 for this month's climb because Mavmec is just still a very, very strong deck. We have another Fire King, Snake Eyes here, nothing too special, nothing too fancy. Another of, it's basically the same list that we have seen before with the Tier Element stuff, and then also cards like the Necro Phase, but also a little Snake Eyes engine. So this person probably playing together with the other person we've seen before. We have another Fire King, Snake Eyes list, another Fire King, Snake Eyes list, as to be expected. We have once again someone switching from Rescue Ace to Fire King Snake Eyes, another Rescue Ace list, and then Global Rank 19 we have an Adignista list. This is also not surprising because Adignista continuously seems to be one of the decks boosting the best win rate in the entire game. Actually, this is what the in-game data tells us. So even though not a lot of people are playing this, it's very, very strong. Maybe because it can end up on this unaffected boss monster here. Is it even in here? I think this person isn't even playing the unaffected boss monster. Oh no, he is not. Crazy. Okay, so obviously you don't need it, but you can combine it with the very strong Mavmec engine, of course. We have someone switching from Rescue Ace to Pearly here, and then Pearly with a Kaiser Colosseum into Fire King Snake Eyes. And then we have also Valmonica, very interesting. I think this deck is enormously bad. But I mean, okay, we can put in summon limits in here. We can put in dimension fissures in here. This definitely helps the deck out a lot, makes it stronger against certain matchups. So, okay, I do see it. We have another Fire King Snake Eyes, another Fire King Snake Eyes, another Fire King Snake Eyes. And then we also have, Valence here, another Pendulum deck, not using the new cards, but using the Exceed the Pendulum. We have once again this deck here, so a lot of people playing this specific list. We have another Adignista list, and then finally a Fluonder Reese list, so a very diverse format here, but definitely the players that were expected to be the best ones are at the top, which is Fire King Snake Eyes and then Rescue Ace. I'm very surprised that we have not seen a single pure Snake Eyes list, honestly. I was expecting pure Snake Eyes to fall off, but not that much here, and I am very surprised that we only see one Branded Despia list, even though it's quite high. I would have expected more Branded Despia and not a single Labyrinth list, for example. Also a bit surprising. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think. What was your deck in this event? Let me know in the comments. How far did you get? How far did you play? Let me know. Thanks for being here, and we will see each other in the next one.